Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of The Acolyte. This is episode 5. It is called Night. We ended last episode with a pretty big cliffhanger, right? The dark side user with the red lightsaber and the smile mask floated down ominously and then force pushed a whole bunch of Jedi away, and then it cut the episode there. And I imagine that this episode is going to pick up immediately after that. If it doesn't, it would be weird. But yeah, I'm super excited. So before we jump into it, if you end up enjoying this reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, let's jump into another episode of The Acolyte.
Babe?
Is the fight already over?
Babe. You're alright.
Unless she got launched really far away. Oh, okay. Distant lightsaber humming. I was like, I don't hear the sounds of battle. Oh, snap. That's a dead body. Yo. Well... I'm trying to, like, figure out who this might be just by looking at their body. Oh, see ya. They're pretty good. Oh, is their helmet made out of Beskar? That's pretty bitchin'. Arms look very pale. That was cool. This guy's dirty as hell, bruh. Those are man's arms, though. Just doesn't do anything.
Osha, run!
Okay. I don't think you guys really stand a chance. Grab Kilnaka's lightsaber. Is it still there? It is. Where's Sol? ¿Dónde está? Is that the direction you just came from? It's like a boomerang. Oh, bless up Sol, the goat. That could be Manny Jacinto's arms. That's dope. That's so dope.
Civilian to the ship.
Civilian, my butthole.
Civilian to the ship.
Okay. This is gonna be freaking crazy, bruh.
We have to go back.
Yord's cooked, brother.
Sol gave me an order. Osha, I don't want to have to subdue you, but I will.
How? You got one leg, brother. Good luck.
Master Soul.
Who are you?
It's gotta be Manny Jacinto.
You don't remember me.
What? Unless you're one of the witches. They could be one of the witches from back in the day. Unless they were there also.
You carry a Jedi weapon. But you are no Jedi.
Damn, Jackie. Just drop kicks her.
You're under arrest.
Damn.
For the murder of Master Indara. The murder of...
Jackie just business-like with it.
Of Master Tobin. The murder of Master Kelnaka. The fire that killed your family.
Damn, Jackie just kind of built different. Never mind. Those look like man's arms. So I don't see how it could be one of the witches.
You trained me.
Unless this is the hooded figure that I talked about back in episode 3.
Read my thoughts.
What master hides his face from his pupil?
You tell me.
Oh. He's saying that's kind of a hypocritical line considering all the things you have kept from your people.
Jackie is a Jedi. She can take care of herself.
Well, a couple Jedi have just died, so... Combat is so good. Such great combat. They're above you.
He doesn't follow the rules of combat, and there's no method to his movements. It doesn't make sense. He gets into your head, and he stays there.
My mother could do
What
that.
does that mean?
Get inside a Jedi's head.
Okay.
We have to keep moving.
So maybe it is one of the witches. Oh. Jackie's sick with it. What a dirty combo, Jackie. Excellent.
You took Master Kelnaka's saber.
Jackie, you might want to leave. You are sprinting at you, girl.
She's a loyal pupil.
Yeah, they be working that gauntlet thing. Nice. X-23 just absolute nasty with the sabers. She's like, see ya. Okay, well, Kilnaka, your saber's gone. They don't seem to want to, like, finish these guys off. As soon as they're, like, distracted or disabled, they just dip.
Turn off your saber.
Yor, do it.
The light attracts them.
Attracts what?
Oh, yeah, bugs. Turn it off. Yord! Follow directions, my brother in Christ.
We go slowly.
Or you run. Just haul ass.
Coward. You were going to betray me.
Yeah, those are man's arms. Those are not women's arms.
I was weak.
You've always been weak.
Oh my god, this is so intense. Manny Jacinto, you need to step up your game, brother. I don't think this would be one of the witches, because they're actively trying to kill her.
We have to go back.
We have to go back. Kate.
He's gonna kill them. He's gonna kill them all. Follow me. Run!
You gonna draw those things to them? Soul says, I don't need this lightsaber, I'll beat your ass. Damn, Jackie, just dirty. Damn, Jackie. It is him. Oh, I knew it.
Jackie.
He can take apart his lightsaber. Jackie, poor Jackie.
Was that its name?
It's Jason Mendoza. You scary guy.
She was a child.
You brought her here.
That's technically true.
Hello.
Got the tonal shift. Hello.
You really didn't know it was me.
Who are you, brother? Like, how do you know these people?
You attacked me while my back is turned? Not very Jedi of you.
Spooky. He's so good. He's so good.
What are you?
I have no name. But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
Maybe he's
Why
the
risk
acolyte.
Discovery.
Well, I did wear a mask.
That's true. That's
What
true.
do you want?
Freedom.
Oh,
The freedom to wield my power the way I like. I want a pupil. An acolyte.
the way he said it echoes what their mom said back in the day of this is about who is allowed to wield the power. Christ.
Surprise.
Oh! The Yord Horde! Damn, Jackie and Yord. God, he's so scary. He's so scary. Soul's tapping into that dark side, I think. He's getting angry. Should have let him finish it. Oh, I know you don't want him to go down that path, but you should have let him finish it.
This is your master. You trust him? Even after everything he did to you.
His mind is twisted by darkness.
I've accepted my darkness. What have you done with yours?
I love you, Ben.
Yo, is he gonna die? Oh, they're taking him away. Poor Pip. Soul, you gotta say what happened,
You say I
brother.
shouldn't trust you.
I'll explain.
Okay. Okay. Now what's gonna happen? Okay, guys. Let's have a nice cordial chat.
What have you done?
What have you done?
The Jedi got what they deserved. Those Jedi were more my family than you ever were. Have you forgotten who we are? They invaded our home. Invaded?
They came to chat.
You started that fire. And I would have been dead too if it weren't for the Jedi. They've brainwashed you. They've turned you against me.
They turned you against me. You have done that yourself, May.
I can help you return to yourself.
What does that mean? Okay, no.
You're a criminal, May. You must pay for your crimes. What are you doing? You followed a false master. So did you. He stole you from us. He led you nowhere.
He's a nice guy. He's got some dark secrets he's hiding, but he's a nice guy. Damn, you just get knocked out that easy, or are you pretending?
You never could block.
That's true. She was always bad at that. Oh no. You're not allowed to have one of those. Oh, you're cutting your hair to look like her. Smart. Smart. Except you have a different outfit on, so. Basil! There you are. Stinking little Basil just takes that and dips. Oh yeah, she definitely took her clothes.
Are you all right?
Where is she?
Who?
Your sister.
What's her plan? I don't know, like, what is her next steps here? Basil? Is Basil gonna save the day? Gotta fix your helmet, brother. Maybe Manny Jacinto was there.
What extraordinary beings.
Like, back in the day. Maybe he was the hooded figure. Or maybe the dyad or whatever that they thought they were was actually a triad.
Even in the revelation of our triumph, we see the depth of our despair.
What the frickin' nutsack? That was so cool. That episode was dope. Oh, R.I.P. to the Yord Horde. That was very unexpected. Both him and Jackie. I like, that took me by surprise. Like, I thought there was gonna be a little something between Osha and Jackie. Like, they had a little bit of chemistry. I'm like, okay, at minimum, they might become friends after this. Maybe possibly more. And I had heard there was an interview with the girl that plays Jackie, X-23 herself, and she talked about how, like, that, like, during the series, like, from that point on and everything, like, she kind of played it as though they had a little bit of flirtatiousness going on. And I was expecting that to develop more, and no. She, oh, it feels weird to say she died in a cool way, but, like, you know, this felt like the perfect blend between, like, prequel era combat and sequel era combat, in the fact that, like, the fights were, like, fluid and fast paced and, like, super engaging, but then they also had the, like, desperate nature of the sequel trilogy, where, like, sometimes, you know, these people, they're not doing, like, perfect form type stuff. Sometimes they're, you know, they're doing moves that are, like, that have an air of desperation to them, you know, like different things are happening, and, you know, it's, some of it's very rapid, like, and, like, unconventional in terms of the lightsaber techniques. Like, when he's fighting Jackie and he, like, stops her, and then it's like poof, 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 like, just quick, like that was insane. And then when he kills Yord, he's like, does this little move and then just snaps his neck. Like, he's not like, this is a dark side user. He is not playing by your rules, like your combat form rules. Like, he's just gonna kill you. Like, don't even question it. You're dead. I was really not expecting Soul to be the only one who makes it out of this encounter, other than like May and Osha. Like, I was definitely expecting both Yord and Jackie to make it out of this, and they super didn't. You know, I was expecting, like, all the, like, random red shirt unnamed Jedi. I was like, they're all gonna die, definitely. And freaking Jason Mendoza was cooking people. He was just nasty with it. Like, just absolute. He got that dog in him, bro. It was sick. Like, I don't know why, but he's, like, weirdly my favorite character in the show now. Like, I already liked him because he's Jason Mendoza, but I'm just digging his whole vibe. Like, I know we're supposed to like not be rooting for the bad guy, but low key, like he just, you know, there's this is gonna sound weird, but there is an unofficial rule slash saying in sports where sometimes players do something that's just awesome, just so cool, so just off the wall, insane, dope, and the refs call it like they call like a flag on the play, or they call a foul, or they call a penalty or something, and it gets like it gets called back. You know, it essentially washes it out. And there's this rule that it's an unofficial rule that never ever gets implemented. You know, it's a fan sentiment more than anything, and people will say the rule of cool, like it should have counted because of the rule of cool. Like what that player did was so dope that even if it was technically against the rules, you just let it count. Let it count. That was awesome. There was a play a year ago, roughly, in a Timberwolves game where Anthony Edwards dunked on a dude so hard. Like he sent that man into the shadow realm. I think it was in the Miami Heat game. Like nuts to this man's face, just yammed it on him. And they called it an offensive foul, which it wasn't. First of all, it was not an offensive foul. That was a clear dunk. But everyone and their mother was like, you know what? That was so cool. Like, how do you justify blowing your whistle on that play? Like, it was the dopest thing I've ever seen. And I feel like, again, sorry, this is a weird transition, but I feel like the rule of cool applies to Manny Jacinto's character. Like, he's a bad guy, yeah, and we're not supposed to be, like, rooting for him or on his team, but he's so goddamn cool. Like, he's just rad. And, like, he's so good at saber combat, and his attitude, like, he's got a little bit of an attitude when he's doing it. Like, he looks at after he does this, like, badass move, kills Jackie, like, his helmet's gone, freaking, what was it, OSHA walks in there and he's like, hey! It's like, oh my god. Like, he's just so good. Like, he's simultaneously super funny and also incredibly badass, and, like, I'm kind of frightened of him. But then he hits you with, like, the nastiest saber combos you've ever seen. And you're like, dude, I kind of hope he wins. Like, it's just, it's over for the Jedi. Like, if they want to make this fully, like, alternate universe and just have this man wipe his way through the Jedi, I wouldn't hate it. It would be kind of dope, not gonna lie. It's gonna be a real bummer when he eventually dies, either by whatever master he's following, or, you know, whatever's going on. I have a feeling that he's following a master, and not just, like, on his own. You know, he said he would consider himself a Sith, right? And he's looking for a pupil, an acolyte. Typically, acolytes are below apprentices. And so I think he's a Sith apprentice following a Sith master. And I think that Sith master is one of the witches from back in the day, probably Coral or Corin or whatever her name is. She's got the horns. I think she's probably the one. Otherwise, if they hit us with a twist and it's Mother Anastasia, that would be kind of wild. But I think it's one of them specifically because of a couple things. One, he had a line of dialogue in this episode where he said, like, he didn't say exactly the same thing that Mother Anastasia said back in episode 3, where she said, you know, this is about power and who is allowed to wield it. He said something very similar of, like, I don't remember his exact words in the episode. I don't know why I remember the one that's farther away, but I remember he said something very similar, and I was like, that seems like a similar sentiment to what the witches had. And then he also hit Saul with the "you don't remember me" line, which is like, okay, what the frick? Like, were you there? Maybe he was there back in the day, and I had pointed out a figure. So during episode 3, there is a figure that's standing off to the side, like during May and Osha's like coronation or whatever, their ascendancy, that little when they're chanting like the will of one, the will of many, you know, like right before the Jedi show up, there's a figure that's just kind of standing off to the side with a hood up, and you don't see this person's face, you don't see anything about them, they don't focus on that person, but I was like, why is that? Like, literally every single other person in that whole joint, you could see their faces, they were like clearly women, but then there was one person that had their hood up, and I was like, who could that be? And I theorized that it could be the Sith at the time, and this episode kind of lends a little bit of credence to that possible theory, and I'm not sure, especially since he was like, you don't remember me. Like, Manny Jacinto had to be there back in the day. And I don't know. Yeah, and now I gotta know like what happened back then, because I somehow, you know, freaking Kilnaka and Torben fought at some point in the past, because we've seen that in trailer footage. We know that happened. And then something happened that all the freaking witches ended up dead, and you know, May didn't cause all that destruction. So we know something went down. Like, what went down? My guess is, you know, maybe Mother Coral, or whatever her name is, she used that like get in your head ability where their eyes go black on either Torben or Kilnaka, and they started fighting and all that, and then it somehow spread to like a larger fight. And I think maybe in that fight somehow Soul got involved and let a little dark side out. You know, he tapped into the dark side during that encounter and maybe killed someone. You know, maybe he killed Mother Anastasia. Maybe he killed Coral. Maybe he killed someone else. And then one of the witches got in like Kilnaka's head or something. I don't know. But at some point, his soul tapped into the dark side. And that played a key role in the destruction of their temple. And you know, maybe like everyone ends up dying, and then he snaps out of it, or like one of the other Jedi snaps him out of it, and he's like, oh my god, like, what have I done? Like, these characters, like, you know, what have I done? Anakin. And, you know, then they vow to like never speak of it, right? Because they're like, we all did it, we're never going to speak of it. And then he goes and saves the kids. But the Force wielder, Manny Jacinto, saves May. And something else. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to put the pieces together. But, you know, Soul did something. And, you know, because he's like, I've accepted my darkness. Like, what have you done with yours? And it's like, okay, he knows that you have a dark side and you used it in the past. And the only, the key event that you seem to have regrets about involved like the death of her entire family. So at some point in that event, you tapped into the dark side, and it, you know, we just need to figure out when. And then, you know, he Soul says something about like you wearing a mask, and he's like, you know, you would know or something. I forgot that he's like similar, like you would know the sentiment, like like Soul's been wearing a mask the whole time, or he said like, you lied to your, I don't know, I forgot what he said. I'm like already forgetting the dialogue in the actual episode that I just watched. but he kind of like throws it back on him, where he's like, you know, you would know about lying to your apprentice or something like that. And it's like, okay, Soul, like what are you hiding, brother? Like, what have you been telling this girl her whole life that this dark side user seems to know that you're lying about? Like was Jason Mendoza there? Like, he knows everything. Like, what is going on? But yeah, man, the freaking fight sequences in this episode were insane. Like, so cool and so well done. Like, they were freaking awesome. It was a pleasure and a half to watch Jason Mendoza just cooking people with the lightsaber. Like, it was insane. Like, again, I know we're supposed to be rooting for the Jedi here, and we're not supposed to be happy that they died, but like, damn, Jason, pop off, son. Like, go to work. I will watch you fight 1,000 Jedi. Like, this was awesome. Then, you know, they do a little tricky trick with Pip, where they attach a light and they get these like insects to carry him away, and then Soul gets knocked out, and Osha and May have a little moment where they kind of like come together, but then fight a little bit, and then Osha gets knocked out. May takes her clothes and is now posing as her. I'm curious, like, what her plan is. like, is she just trying to get Soul alone? Because she could have just straight up killed that guy. She could have killed him at any moment. Like, what is the issue? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. Like, what her goal is. But seemingly, I think Basil is gonna play a role in you know, demasking her, if that makes sense. Like, he's gonna help figure out that she's not actually Osha. Or I think the tattoo is gonna play a role, because what was it, episode 1 or 2, Soul specifically notices Osha's tattoo. Like, he notices that she has one, and then at the very end of this episode, you could clearly see her tattoo, like, on her arm, and so that will probably come into play. Like, she's gonna be like derobing, or he's gonna be like cleaning up a wound or something, and then he's gonna notice she doesn't have the tattoo, and it's gonna be bad. And then Basil's gonna come in with Pip's head and like attach it, and it's gonna like, oh shit, like, you're not the real one, and then it's gonna turn into a fight. It's gonna be bad. But then, yeah, okay, and then at the end of the episode, the dude freaking like puts a blanket over Osha in like a familial way. Like, it was a little tender, and he's like, what the frick is going on? Like, why? Like he seemed like gentle with her at the end, but during the episode he was actively trying to kill May. Like, he was trying to stab her. Like, what? I need more context and more info. There's still, 3 more episodes left to figure out what the frick is going on. I'm just like, I'm just dumbfounded. That was so cool. That was awesome. I think I might actually go as far as to say that the combat in this episode is better than the prequels. Like the prequels had that emotional, like, you know, the emotional side of things were so closely entangled with the actual fights in the prequels, so it made the fights more important and feel better, and the combat in those was dope. But one complaint I have had with the prequel combat over the years is that oftentimes it very much looks like they're not actually trying to hit each other. They're not actually trying to kill each other. They're just doing like a choreographed set of moves that like aren't actually designed to do anything, right? Like, it's a dance, but it's not like a dance to kill the other person. And the sequel trilogy, I feel like, while not nearly as polished, like they all seem like they're actually trying to hit the other person with the lightsaber. This perfect blend, like it seemed more fluid, more fast paced, a little bit more choreographed, but like every single move that was pulled seemed like they were actively trying to kill the other person. Like they were full on trying to hit that dude with the lightsaber and kill him, and it felt so much better. Like I think, you know, I know a lot of people going into this when I think they said like we want to have a fight scene or like a couple fight scenes that rival, you know, Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. I think they exceeded it. Like the fight scene with Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace was dope. A lot of it does come down to Duel of the Fates. Like you don't have Duel of the Fates in that fight scene, it's not nearly as cool. Also like the fact that like that was the first time we're ever seeing like a double bladed lightsaber. Like people were losing their minds. Like the fight scene was incredible, but it did also suffer from the prequel era stuff of like clearly like 80-95% of the moves don't look like they're actually intended to hit the other person, right? So I might get hate for this in the comments, but I think I can say it. I think I can say it. I like this combat more, and I think it's better. I think it's objectively better than any of the combat we've seen in live action Star Wars up to this point. And, you know, hate me in the comments if you want, but that's my opinion. I am gonna miss freaking Jackie and Yord though. Like Yord is, I mean, he's the Yord Horde, leader of the Yord Horde. You know, I was coming around to Yord. I was coming around to him. I started to like him a little bit more, and then he just gets like the moment he picks up that helmet and starts working old boy with the helmet, I was like, damn, Yord, get it, dude. And then just I was like, oh, Yord, no. Like not expecting Yord to die in the slightest, but I'm especially gonna miss Jackie because Jackie was kicking ass. Like she was doing work. Like from the moment that she just drop kicks May and then is like angrily being like, you're under arrest. Like I was like, damn, Jackie. Like tell him how it is, Jackie. Working people. And then when she takes on old boy with the duel, I was like, Jackie, get it. Like Jackie going ham. I was expecting her to get out of it somehow, you know, because there was the moment where he cut the lightsaber in half. I was like, Jackie survives, like she's gonna make it out, and then she rejoins the fight, and then he hits him with the triple dab. I was like, god damn, like no, Jackie, like I mean, give her a good fight before you take her out, but damn, like she was popping off this episode, and like I don't know what else you expect from X-23 herself, like little Wolverine Jr. just going ham. Like, oh my god. So now, yeah, the only people left that have seen this man's face are Sol, Osha, and May, and presumably one to all three of those people are dying by the end of this. Like, they're not all making it out. And, you know, Osha, she ain't coming back to the Jedi Order. Like, she's not going to rejoin the Jedi Order. What do you think this is? I have to imagine by the end of this, everybody's dead. Like, everybody. And I thought this was going to be like a multi-season show, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a single season. And if it is, I mean, that's rad. That's sick as hell that they told just a dope short story in one season, but I hope we get more. So it says, why is Sith Jason Mendoza hot? It's like, because the dude's an attractive guy, and the air of confidence that he's bringing to that, plus the bad boy aspect of it, like, come on now. I low-key kind of love how that whole section, that whole right, you know the people, that whole side of the Star Wars fandom was so mad going into this show. They're like, oh my god, like, all of those Jedi see a Sith? Like, this show's gonna be trash. Like, that's breaking canon. Like, if the Sith appears and fights all these Jedi, how do the Jedi Order not know that the Sith are back? Like, they're all gonna have to die. Like, that's the only way it works. And then this episode comes out and he's fucking killing everybody. He's just like, die. Everybody's dying. And somehow they're probably still gonna be mad about that. They're gonna be like, oh my god, like, Saul made it out. Like, surely he's gonna tell the Jedi Order. Like, I can already imagine Star Wars Theory just like losing his mind. Like, in such a dope episode, he's probably gonna pick out the one thing, being like, Saul lived. Surely he's gonna tell the rest of the Jedi. It's like, bro, just let the final 3 episodes play out. Like, this guy just murked 8 Jedi. Like, you think they're gonna, like, somehow tell the Jedi Council? No. Like, this guy annihilated everyone. Like, the one thing that you wanted going into this, you're like, everybody needs to die. Like, that's the only way this works, is if everybody dies. Guess what? Everybody died. Like, everybody. The people we thought was gonna make it out of this fight, they got cooked barehanded, bruh. Like, it's this good night. I can already tell, though, like, that side of things is gonna find a way to hate this episode regardless, even though this was the sickest thing I've ever seen. Like, Sith Manny Jacinto is just raw as hell, dude. Like, he's so cool. And I'm rooting for him, honestly. Like, I hope he kills everybody. I shouldn't, but I do. Manny Jacinto's arms would turn me to the dark side. Love it. Like, okay, I was a little concerned going into this that it was only going to be like a 30-minute episode again, but given that it was 30 minutes of straight gas, like, I'm fine with it. That was rad. It's basically like a 30-minute fight scene, and it was dope as hell. So, yeah. Give me more of that, please. Like, that was nasty. I am thoroughly pleased with my experience tonight, and I hope to see more of this show. Like, I was already digging this show, and then you hit me with this heat. Yes, sir. Like, I don't know. I think that's all I gotta say. Like, this was dope as hell. And I'm pretty curious to see how you guys feel about it. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys thought. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, I think that's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.